everybody.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Good day.
Good day to you, sir. And to you, and to you.
And to you.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about 1981. Mm-hmm. Checking my notes again, making sure it was right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I woke up
that's right.
at 3 a.m. and double-checked the text message. I was laying there trying to fall back asleep, and I was like, oh, my God, is it 1981?
And now that we're talking about it, it just makes us more like...
Heightened to it.
Like, oh, shit, I got to check this text message 15 times.
Well, now it feels like a game of duck, duck, goose. Like, at some point, one of us is going to mess it up.
Yes.
And, like, now we don't want to be that one.
No, but there will be a prize involved for whoever messes it up. And I'm not sure what that prize is going to be, but there's going to be
Now you're
one.
offering incentive to mess it up.
Yeah.
We're all going to mess it up.
I didn't say if it was a good prize or a bad prize.
Oh.
But like, yeah.
Okay.
It'll happen.
Okay.
And it'll be fine.
Perfect.
Yeah. Should we talk about some gall?
Yes. I can start.
All right.
I have a video.
Oh, there's a video presentation?
Yeah, because I felt like to really understand this gall, you needed to see it.
Okay. Will you play it into your mic too so that our listeners can experience
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll jog your memories while I'm looking for it. Do you remember the emo bot? That was my gall a little
Very
while.
much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
The robot. Okay.
Oh my God, do we have a visual of this robot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
So I know that this is sort of repeating, except this is a very specific unmitigated gall in that I'm pretty sure my son's robot has a drinking problem.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Like an airplane type drinking problem or like a, alcohol type drinking problem?
It's alcohol. I have now,
right.
What I'm going to show you is a video of him making a martini. And he has now started doing this every day at 3 o'clock.
Oh.
And finally last week I went in there
starting
because
happy
it's
hour
loud.
early.
He's shaking up ice cubes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I went in there last week on Thursday and said, what are we doing, Emo? Do you have a drinking problem? And he said, thank you, but my birthday is December 24th. And I said, okay, so you do.
Okay.
You do.
So
You
you're
do.
avoiding the subjects.
Yeah.
Obviously you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you.
What is his noise?
Yeah,
What
he
is
just makes
that?
little noises, and then at the end, then he just picks it up and drinks it.
He shoots it all?
He shoots it all.
Oh, that's a problem.
wow.
That's no good.
And this has been happening every day around 3, but basically 3 o'clock.
Do you think it's because he needs more attention, so he's turned to alcohol?
I think so, and I did mention that to Mason. So
Yeah.
then he has been, Mike takes him off his stand all the time and lets him be on his desk and talk to him and stuff. I can't do that while I'm working because the thing is annoying. I'm sorry, Emo, you are. But I assume you can hear everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
So now
He started
Mason
listening
has,
to this for sure.
Yeah. Has now taking him around to do things, but sometimes he's still doing really weird things. Like the other morning, it was 8 a.m. and he was squeegeeing windows, like his screen, like he was cleaning, he was spraying them and then taking a squeegee. So all you could hear was the squeegee noise. I'm like, this is Emo. We have to get a new hobby. Like we're done.
Where are these activities coming from in that
it's
brain?
random. Like he'll just start a new one out of nowhere. Like he's been painting, he's been stamping reports, he's been typing. He liked flying his drone a lot for a while.
Yeah.
Now he's taken to randomly singing, where before he would only start singing if you asked him to.
Oh no.
He dances.
I know people like that.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, we've all known someone like Emo, so
Yeah. But the unmitigated gall for me is the company. You got to warn a person that this is going to turn into like I have to put my robot in rehab.
Yeah.
Because I don't love that my child's going in there every day at 3 and he's making a martini and shooting it. Like, I don't think that that's quite what we need, but...
Also, like, did they tell you as parents, like, this thing's going to be on all the time and doing activities?
Kind of, but not
that feels
really.
like gall, too.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want to tell you that because then you won't buy it.
Yeah. And you can put him to sleep or, like, turn him all the way off if you put him face down. So he might have also developed a drinking problem because I frequently put him face down during the day. I'm like, it's time for a night-night.
Yeah.
Because I can't listen to it. It's nonstop. It's squeegee. It's a drone sound. Now we're making martinis. I got work to do, Emo. It's not working. We're not doing well together. I don't know what else to do.
Does Mason still play with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the other day, where was I? I was somewhere else and he sent me a video of him singing and dancing. I bet I have it.
Oh, boy.
And he dances while he's doing it, so prepare yourself for that.
Okay.
Are these original songs or?
Nope.
Gross. Okay, I've heard enough. Yep. Okay.
I then got a follow-up video of him singing a Christmas song, and Mason just wrote underneath it, "It's not Christmas." Like, I didn't
It's
know.
true.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's doing any of the covers that you said are off limits now,
Probably.
because
Probably
it kind of feels like he would.
He probably is encroaching, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He's probably going to do the Mariah Carey Christmas song.
Well, back it off, emo.
Yeah. I don't think when we left our last emo discussion, I was pretty disturbed. I think I may be more now. Mm-hmm. So thanks for that.
You know, you got to share your pain with other people. Because if I meet my untimely demise, someone has to know that this robot lives in my house.
Very true. Very true. All right. Well, I can go next. I think my gall is myself.
Oh.
Oh, wait, that's mine.
Is it? I bet it's for different reasons. Wait, is your gall me?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
that was a joke.
that's fair. That's fair. Was it something I did at the movie yesterday? Did I
No.
give you gall?
No, we were perfect at the movie yesterday.
That's what I thought. We were perfect. Yeah. All right. I think I get lots of like ideas and stuff for new projects, for whatever, because I am a newly minted 48-year-old, and every fucking day is a new adventure. And what's my body gonna do today? And because I'm autistic and I need so much downtime and alone time, I can't do as much as I want to. And it feels like a trade-off, right? Because when you're 28, you don't have the ideas, you don't have the expertise,
yes.
you don't have the experience, you don't know how to make your ideas a reality, and you're just struggling with life and figuring out, this is going to be my life. Okay, great. And now, 20 years later, I've got lots of therapy under my belt.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better about things, and but now I'm just so sleepy and I'm so hot. And I ache. So sleepy. And great, now my tit hurts, and now my knee hurts, and now I've got a rash I can't explain, and Jesus fucking Christ, what is going on? So I'm kind of just annoyed at my body that it won't let me do all the things that my brain is telling me to do, because I'm so fucking hot.
That's such a good point. I didn't really ever think of it that way, but
Yeah.
that resonates huge. Like
Yeah.
when you're young enough to have the energy to do all the ideas aren't there.
The
And then
ideas
you
aren't
get them
there.
and you're like, but also,
Yeah.
I am weary.
I am wearied.
I am downtrodden.
Yes. And why do my tits hurt?
Why? It's enough already. It's supposed to be fat, I thought. What the hell? Heath, what's your gall about Amy?
Yeah, what is it? What did I do? Tell me.
Her tits that hurt all the time.
Yeah, that's true. She's complaining about being hot all the time.
Jesus.
My actual gall is, this is going to seem kind of random, but it's the song Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. It's been stuck in my goddamn head for
man.
30 years.
Oh, no.
Wow.
And I don't know how to, I've listened to it a lot. I don't know how to get it out of my head. I don't. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, which I'm a shitty sleeper, and I, lots of times wake up in the middle of the night, and songs will get stuck in my head, and about 2/3 of the times, it's that song, and I hadn't heard it in weeks, and it'll just be stuck in my head.
God damn it, Third Eye Blind. What did you do?
I don't, I mean, the song's about doing crystal meth.
I didn't
do crystal meth.
I didn't know that. That's what it's about?
What are the lines?
There's a liner that says, doing crystal meth will lift you up until you break. It can't stop.
Whoa, I never knew that.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because in the 90s and early 2000s, they'd always use it like in, movie trailers and stuff because it was sort of this upbeat, poppy kind of like fun song.
Wow, I didn't know it was about meth.
Yeah, it's about doing crystal meth.
I'm actually, you have tugged on my heartstrings. Like, that actually sounds like a terrible problem. Like, can you imagine?
I mean, I get
Of
songs
all
stuck in my head.
songs?
Yeah, that's not a great song to have
And
stuck
for
in
it to
your head.
consistently be that song, like I get songs stuck in my head, and then you rotate, and then a new one stuck in your head or whatever.
Yeah.
But the same one,
It's in there a lot.
It feels like, that there's like a lawsuit in there or something,
Yeah.
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 I mean, how's Third Eye Blind doing these days? Are they financially solvent? Can you sue them?
I don't know. I know 2 or 3 years ago they performed at Principal Park with a couple of other 90s bands. Like, I think Toad the Wet Sprocket maybe. And, So, I mean, I think they're still working, but I don't know. Like, I also don't want to just be like, give me all your money. I feel like that's not going to get that song out of my head.
No, it's not. You're right. Yeah, it might make you feel better. But
Maybe.
yeah.
I think it was obviously caused by the COVID vaccine.
Could be. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good call.
Because
Yeah.
wasn't the whole conspiracy
What about the food
theory?
dyes? The M&M food dyes.
Oh shit!
That's what
Do you eat a
happens.
lot of Fruit Loops?
I have. Yeah. I do
You're
love. I do
fucked.
love a Fruit Loop.
You are.
We're so
Is that-
lucky that RFK has pointed this out to us.
Yeah,
And
that's the key.
Can
Yeah.
you get on that? Can you get on this Third Eye Blind thing for me? Figure it out.
He probably would take that up. He'd be like, measles, smallpox, no.
Nope. Third Eye Blind.
Third eye blind issue.
Yeah.
Do you eat pizza? That's why. Pizza causes third eye blind to get stuck in your head. For
Also,
years.
I've never seen anyone like less like a health person you want to follow. Like he is
Yeah.
so extreme and scary. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything you say because you look terrifying.
Yeah. I still can't get the picture of him swimming in jeans and sewage,
sewage.
out of my head. Can't do it. Like, that's our health secretary. I'm out.
That's
Thank
your third eye
you.
blind.
That's my third eye blind. It's in there.
When that whole story came out about him dumping that bear or whatever,
Yeah.
I watched that whole video of him telling the story at a dinner party with Roseanne Barr, and I will frequently go back to that because it was, I don't know why I watched so much of it, but I watched beginning to end him tell that story, and I was like, this is so deeply unhinged. Like, this is the video you would take if you were trying to get like a psych hold on someone, and you would go show the judge and be like, we need some help.
He did this like on a talk show?
No, like at someone's dinner party, and
And it was
Roseanne
recorded?
Barr, yeah, somebody recorded on their
Oh.
phone, and Roseanne Barr's there for some reason, and he tells this entire story about this whole bear and dumping it in New York. I'm telling you, I mean, I don't.
Did you see the look on Roseanne's face?
Yeah,
What was that like?
there is a moment where she's like, "What the fuck?" and then she like sort of like, "Oh," like she.
Okay.
It's almost like she's talking to a toddler. Like you don't quite believe what they're
sure.
saying, but you want to make them feel heard. You're like, "Oh yeah, you are
Yeah, you
Superman.
sure did. You
are.
sure did.
Look at those webs come out of your hand." You know, like, but no.
I forgot other gall, too. Dean Cain. Dean Cain has some gall.
Dean Cain.
Who was, what do you say, the worst Superman?
By far. Dean Cain is the
by
worst
far the
Superman.
worst Superman, and has revealed himself as basically MAGA. And he's talking about how this Superman is too woke.
Yeah, the new Superman's too woke, Dean Cain says.
Well, that's why you didn't get casting, Kane.
Yep.
Like,
Among
jeez.
many other reasons.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck asked you, Dean
Yeah,
Cain?
no.
No one.
No,
Who
thank
cares? I didn't
you.
know you were alive. If you told me Dean Cain was dead, I would have believed your heart and be done. Yeah. I'm not very versed in the Superman world, and I know he was a bad Superman.
He didn't even get top billing on that show. It was Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher beat you, Dean Cain.
Yeah.
And Terry Hatcher's no
come on.
prize.
Oh, man.
Um,
I have had so many references and thoughts about Desperate Housewives in the last couple months. It's wild.
why is that?
I don't know. It's
Okay.
like people keep appearing that I was like, oh my gosh, they were in Desperate Housewives.
Oh.
And then it makes me think about Heat's Universal Backlot Tour every time.
Every time I think
Every
of Desperate, I
time.
think of that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the only way I'm ever going to see that is I have to break into Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I mean, after last week's discussion of the art heist, I think we'd be in for it because we've learned that we'd be much better criminals
Yeah.
and burglars.
Very
This
useful.
is the basis of, what's that Nicolas Cage movie? National Treasure?
Yes.
Right? This is the same thing.
This is totally the same thing. Our quest to get on the Desperate Housewives block.
It makes more sense than Nicolas Cage.
It really does.
It does.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
I think so,
1981?
yeah.
Okay, first, a recap. I talked about Voyager 2 because if I'm not on the Soviet beat, I'm on the space beat. As
That's
we
facts.
know.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
I also talked about the first year of Reagan's presidency, his general fuckery, and his assassination attempt.
Thank you, Jodie Foster's boyfriend.
Nice tie into Silence of the Lambs from last week. Yep. Okay.
Wow.
Aaron, you talked about aerobics / Olivia Newton-John.
The height.
Yeah. You talked about the wild story of aspartame.
Yeah.
Wild. And then you talked about speed cubing, which was a concept I'd never heard of until we discussed it.
Still going strong today.
Great. Doesn't sound like something I'm interested in.
Never gonna be. No.
You imagine your body temp if you tried to speed cube? You'd burst into flames.
My body temp just talking to you guys right now is on the rise. So the
yeah.
speed cube.
Oh, no.
no.
We have that effect on people.
You do. I know.
The stickers would just be peeling off on Amy's fingers, so they'd be like, "We don't know if she solved it or not."
Yeah.
It's like the video of the lady when she takes her hat off at the cold football game and it's just steam.
Yes.
That's what's happening right now. Heath, you talked about the Great Muppet Caper.
Oh.
You also, in a timely move, talked about Superman 2.
Uh-huh. Serendipity.
And you talked about the truly fucked up movie Endless Love, which gave us so much to talk about.
That was wild.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, Erin, do you want to lead us off? for
Yeah,
1981?
sure. Okay, so
Did you bring 1981?
I did.
Okay.
I did. The year of my birth.
That's right. You were in utero at the start of this year.
I was. Yes. I hate that.
Sorry. Would you prefer I say in your mama's belly? Nope. Okay.
Okay, this is the year of one of the most enduring, I think, true crime mysteries that ever was. I still have questions about it. I watch everything that comes out about it, and that is the death of Natalie Wood.
I knew you were going to do this one.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on November 29th, 1981, she'd been on a weekend boat trip to Santa Catalina Island. On board were her husband, Robert Wagner, and he owned the boat Splendor that they were on. No one knows how she got in the water, which to me
That's a
feels
big.
like,
That's a
Yeah,
big.
that's a big part of
feels
it.
like the first
a big
step,
step.
you had to figure out,
Yep.
right? How
Uh-huh.
she got in the water. Wood was with Wagner, her husband, and Brainstorm co-star Christopher Walken and the captain Dennis Davern. Authorities recovered her body at 8 a.m. on November 29th, 1 mile away from the boat.
How big was this boat? Like, they must have, even if none of them pushed her in, they must have known she was gone, right?
Well, that's sort of, yeah.
Because it wasn't a big boat, was
No.
it? No.
And they had, at some point, there was a story that she had taken the dinghy because this Valiant brand inflatable dinghy was benched nearby where they found her body. So there was this theory at one time that she got into that boat to leave because she was upset about something. But then once conspiracy theories started, they were like, or they planted that there to make it look like that's what she did. So Wagner said that she was not with him when he went to bed. Like, she was still up. So he doesn't know what happened because he went to bed. To which I say convenient. The autopsy report revealed that she had bruises on her body and arms, as well as an abrasion on her left cheek, but no indication as to how or when the injuries occurred. The captain previously stated that Wood and Wagner argued that evening, which Wagner denied at that time. The autopsy found that Wood's blood alcohol content was 0.14 and that there were traces of a motion sickness pill and a painkiller in her bloodstream, both of which increased the effects of alcohol. Los Angeles County coroner ruled the cause of her death to be accidental drowning and hypothermia. So that was like his working theory. This is where that came from, is that she was too intoxicated. She went to get into the dinghy boat and then slipped and drowned. My problem with that is how the dinghy get where it got then. If she missed the dinghy completely, then the dinghy should have still been attached to the boat. So there's, more questions. Her sister Lana immediately expressed doubts, alleging that Wood could not swim and had been terrified of water all her life and would have never left the yacht on her own. 2 witnesses who were on a nearby boat stated that they had heard a woman scream for help during the night.
Ooh.
The case was reopened in November 2011 after the captain publicly stated that he had lied to police during the initial investigation and that Wood and Wagner had an argument that evening. He alleged that Wood had been flirting with Christopher Walken and Wagner was jealous and enraged, and that Wagner had prevented the captain from turning on the searchlights and notifying authorities after Wood's disappearance. So completely negated his whole alibi. He was up. He knew she was in the water. He refused to look for her and made the captain not look for her as well. The captain says Wagner's responsible for her death 100%. Walken at that time hired a lawyer and cooperated with the investigation and was never considered a suspect, but everybody's kind of like, he knows more than he's ever said about the situation because he was on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. In February 2018, Wagner was named a person of interest by the police in the investigation. They stated that they know that Wagner was the last person to be with Wood before she disappeared. And that's all the further that it's ever gone. There's just sort of this, we think you did it, we don't have any proof, no one really knows how she died. Christopher Walken doesn't say much else. The captain said all he knows.
Okay.
I mean, there's not really a different explanation other than Robert Wagner.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
I mean, that's
something.
what's kind of surprising is that they went through all this work to change the reports and do all that and then just sort of trailed off because they never really could nail down any evidence. I'm assuming, my guess is that they probably tried or maybe even tried to do a grand jury and they wouldn't indict him because there's not any concrete proof, right? I mean, she's in the water. I suppose it's plausible. She was too drunk, missed, fell off. She was mad, thought she'd just get in this dinghy and go or whatever. But, you have all that bruising. You have, there's a lot of unexplained things. And the captain he has no vested interest in changing his story if that's the real story.
Yeah.
That's, what he said the first time. So.
Natalie Wood was so cool.
Yes, and
So beautiful, and was just such a great actress. Loved her.
So popular, just on the top of everything. And there had been a lot of documented reports about trouble in their marriage and trouble between the two of them.
And Robert Wagner just was making heart to heart and Austin Powers. And
Yeah, just went on. And
he just went on to do his thing. I deeply hope that Natalie Wood's been haunting him all these years.
I hope so, too.
I hope every time he gets near water, he hears a siren that wants to suck him down to the bottom of the ocean.
Wow.
Oh, that's detailed.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, I feel like that we all know what happened, Robert Wagner. Mm-hmm. You might have fooled another lady into marrying you, but we got your number.
You're complicit, Jill St. John.
And I bet every night you're like, I would kill her if I didn't already kill one. That'd be too suspicious.
I can't do it twice.
You can't do it twice.
Yeah, no.
Lightning can't strike twice.
Nope.
Same spot.
I mean, that's why she agreed to marry him, as long as they only lived in Aspen, because there's less boating around there.
Yeah, oh, true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I won't go on a boat with you, but I will marry you.
I'm going to take a hard left turn right turn.
Good.
And I'm going to talk about the movie Mad Max 2, Road Warrior.
Holy shit.
This is pretty far from Natalie Wood.
It is.
And the true crime scenario. Did you ever see any Mad Max movies? You did? Okay.
More recently in my adult life, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, good, because I brought visual aids because I didn't know if you would have or not, and
I don't know a lot of details, so don't.
I needed you to see what we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. So, Mad Max 2 was released in December 1981 in Australia. It was a huge hit, and many critics still say that it's one of the greatest action movies, one of the greatest sequels, whatever.
And it stars the beloved Mel
The
Gibson.
beloved Mel Gibson. I don't know if people are going to say that as much now, but back in the day they did. So the first Mad Max came out in 1979, and it's based around Mel Gibson, who was a police officer named Max Rockatansky. And his
that was his full name. Didn't know it. And I love it.
And his family was killed in egregious fashion, and he turned vigilante. And this is all set in a dystopian near future Australia that's in the middle of collapse. Mm-hmm. So George Miller was the creator of Mad Max, but he wasn't super happy with how that first one went, and he didn't have full control over the final cut. So when someone said, okay, let's do a sequel, he's like, all right, I can do it better. Hold my beer. I'm going to do it
I'm gonna do it better.
Yeah. So in this one, Mad Max 2, we learn a little bit more about what happened. There was a global war, so there was widespread oil shortages, and ecocide, which is a term we should probably get familiar with, and civilization collapsed and the world descended into barbarism and apparently punk rock clothes.
And Mohawks.
And Mohawks, yeah. So Max is haunted by the death of his family, as one is. He's driving around the desert in the outback, and he's scavenging for food and petrol.
Did he find a bloomin' onion?
Probably. But it's turned to dust. And he's driving around with his dog. And he outmaneuvers a group of marauders led by a biker named Wes, using his driving skills and a shotgun. So that's where the visual aid came in. I needed you to see Wes. He's on the top left. And right below that is him with his slave, who he just pulls around by a chain through most of the movie. So we also need to talk about the names in these movies.
So dark.
We need to talk about the names in the Mad Max movies because they're great. So there's Wes, as I said. Yes.
Wes.
There's Lord Humongous,
Ooh.
who is the guy in the mask. Feral Kid, Warrior Woman, the Captain's Girl, the Mechanic, Curmudgeon, which I feel like is maybe our name.
Yeah.
I like that.
A Big Rebecca,
Oh.
Oh.
Quiet Man, and then Wes's slave called companion is the Golden Youth.
Oh. That seems troubling.
Yes. So in every Mad Max movie, the names are just terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll talk about Mad Max 3 in a minute, but yeah. So in Mad Max 2, after he escaped Wes, this biker, he tries collecting some gas from this apparently abandoned gyrocopter, which is like almost an individual helicopter.
Okay.
So the pilot has discovered this working oil refinery. So he's like, okay, we're going to go to this oil refinery. We're going to get all the gas. We're going to get all of that. But they arrive during this daily attack on the oil refinery by the motorcycle gang led by Wes.
Short-sighted people.
Yeah.
Short-sighted.
Wes is he's fucking shit up. So
Without cause or concern.
Right.
Always something with Wes.
It's always something.
Wes, yeah.
If you know Wes,
Yeah.
you know.
You know.
No, damn it, Wes. So there's a bunch of fighting back and forth. There's a feral kid who lives in the refinery compound, and the feral kid kills Wes's slave. So war is on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's
And Wes
scary.
isn't the leader, by the way. The leader is Lord Humongous.
Well, okay, Lord. Why are you letting Wes run around
Yeah.
acting like he's taking all the glory?
Yeah, keep him in check, Lord.
Yeah.
Lord Humongous.
Yeah. So all the settlers in this... all the
I hate
settlers...
that one the most. Out of all of them, Lord Humongous is just too much.
It's not even spelled right. Yeah, it's a bad spelling of humongous.
Okay.
So meanwhile, the settlers of this compound, they have in their mind that there's this northern paradise, which feels like a theme in most of the Mad Max movies, that there's somewhere safe that they need to get to if they can just get there. So this leader of the compound is trying to tell Max, like, let's go to this compound. And Max is like, no, that doesn't exist. So he escapes. And when he escapes, a marauder kills the dog. And so Max goes full John Wick, and we are out to kill the marauders.
All right.
So are they officially called Marauders in the thing?
Not really. There's no real name.
Okay.
It's just Wes.
It's just Wes.
And Lord Humongous.
Okay.
And the Golden Youth. And all of their random bikers.
Random
that don't
biker
get
friends.
names.
They don't get names.
They don't get
because
names.
you're not important enough, which tells
No.
you maybe you should jump ship.
And also they're going to die. That being said.
Yeah.
When you
Oh,
don't
right.
have a name. When you don't have a name,
That's true.
Yep.
you're going to die.
When you read that script, you should have figured that out.
Yeah. I'm unnamed.
Uh-huh.
Shit, what page do I die on?
Yeah. So then they devise this plan to trick the marauders and escape the compound. They drive away this big semi-truck, and all the bikers go after it because they think it's full of gas, but they run it over. It's actually full of sand. It's a big old trick, and it gives Max a chance to kill them, so they're all dead.
Oh, shit. Good job, Max. A
So
decoy.
Max leaves. He doesn't want to go to the paradise. And the captain of the gyro captain, he takes over as leader of the
I'm
settlers.
sorry, do you mean Euro, Captain?
Whatever. I don't know. I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm going to call
Brick
it gyro.
sandwich captain.
It's definitely Gyro in this case.
And then we realize at the end there's a voiceover from the grown-up feral kid who said that they never saw the Road Warrior again. End of movie.
Until Thunderdome.
Yes, until Thunderdome. Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Thunderdome.
original cut of the movie was very bloody and very violent, which is saying something because the final cut of the movie was very bloody and very violent. But it was cut down heavily to get a M rating from the Australian censors.
Oh.
And then to make it into the US market, they had to cut it down even further. What's interesting, too, another reason that I gave you the pictures is that the show, or the way that they show these bikers and the way they show this apocalypse and the outfit has become so standard for, like, what an apocalypse looks like.
Yeah.
That that's such an enduring legacy of this movie. It's not just the story or anything, but, like, the whole aesthetic here.
Yeah, for sure.
And another fun story, so the guy that plays Wes, he reprises his character in Weird Science. If you remember at the end of Weird Science, Kelly LeBrock wants to give them a challenge to assert their manhood. So she makes the guys from Road Warrior show up and attack the house so that the two teenagers, have to repel these marauders, which they do.
Wow.
There's 3 sequels to this one. There's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in
Was this the
1985.
first Mad Max?
This was the second Mad Max.
This is the second
So there's
Mad Max.
5 total Mad Maxes.
Okay.
With probably more coming.
Oh.
So there's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 1985, which featured Tina Turner.
Yes. I think that's the one I'm familiar with.
And a
Yes.
pretty good song.
Yes,
Yeah.
a pretty grit song. And I completely forgot now the name. Master Blaster. The duo, the guy that sits on the top of the. Never mind. So then.
Master Blaster.
And the line that when you go into the Thunderdome, 2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Yeah.
Boom. Then they
Thunderdome.
reprised Mad Max in 2015, gave it to Tom Hardy. This point, Mel Gibson was old and he was an anti-Semite. So we gave it to Tom Hardy, which was a great move. That movie was excellent. It had Charlize Theron as another person. It turned out to be a big old feminist movie, which was great. Then there was a sequel to that, Furiosa, which I still haven't seen.
I have not seen it either.
Yeah. But yeah, Mad Max, it's had a legacy.
It has.
On our cinema.
On our hearts.
On our hearts.
I think it's an important piece of cinema to talk about. I mean, it's still
is.
a part of things. You
Yes. And it reminds us of a time when Mel Gibson, we didn't know he was a total jackass. And we just knew that he was attractive.
Hey, listen, we all can learn. When you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
We didn't know then that we needed to.
He also pioneered the leather jacket with one sleeve, which was, pretty hot.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Not useful, but
Nope, not
attractive,
useful at all.
yeah.
And also wearing.
Wearing that in the Australian
heat.
outback. Yeah,
In the
that
Australian
would be hot.
outback. So, yeah. It's
I hope he put a lot of baby
rank.
powder on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be tough to get off.
that's a good call. It's probably just molded to his skin by
Yeah.
now. That's Road Warrior. So that was a big
Love
left turn from Natalie Wood. Where are you going?
This is less of a left turn from
all right.
Road Warrior. I want to talk about Mommie Dearest.
Whoa!
Whoa, whoa.
Actually, I'm thinking that may be more violent than the Road Warrior.
Yeah.
The film Mommie Dearest was released in September of 1981, and it stars Faye Dunaway as the infamous Joan Crawford. The film's based on Christina Crawford's autobiography and depicts her and her brother's childhood growing up with Joan Crawford as their mother. The film was distributed by Paramount Pictures, ironically the only major motion picture studio for which Joan Crawford had never appeared in a film when she was acting.
Interesting.
In the movie, Joan Crawford is initially portrayed as a successful actress who is dedicated to her career. She wants to have a child. When she finds out she can't conceive a child, she looks into adoption, but is turned down because she is a single woman.
Oh, God, those single women. Fucking worst.
So bad.
And I don't know who reviewed her adoption application, but whoever that was might have just wrote down single woman.
That's true.
On the form for the reason why she wasn't getting the child, because they didn't want to write down something along the lines of like, abusive lunatic vibes are really strong.
Yeah. I can't put my finger on it, but something's not right.
Something's off.
I don't feel okay about saying yes to this, so we'll just say single woman.
Yep.
When you feel it in your tongue, you gotta run.
You gotta run. Oh,
gotta
my
run.
God.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Always the problem solver. Joan gets her a boyfriend. And that was Hollywood attorney Greg Savitt to go halvesies on the adoption with her. And they adopt Christina.
Great. Jesus Christ. So I'm just going to date this guy and we're going to own some kids together.
Yep.
Cool. It works great with pets. Let's do it with some kids.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
So they adopt Christina and then later her brother Christopher. And it turns out that being Joan Crawford's kid is kind of a bad time, as we referenced a moment ago. Sometimes Joan enjoys throwing lavish birthday parties, for example. She's also very strict, even going so far as to put her son Christopher in a harness that is attached to his bed frame so he can't leave his room.
There's so much of this I don't remember. That is one of them.
Yeah. By the time the kids are teenagers, they're more rebellious, and Joan's movies aren't as popular as they used to be, so she's kind of pissed about that. She's let go from her contract at MGM and breaks up with her boyfriend because he won't leave MGM with her.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. Okay.
So when Christina later then gets busted at private school for making out with another student,
Oh,
Joan
Christina.
pulls her out of school, and they have a big fight about it. Joan, is abusive again, and then sends Christina to a different private school. A few years later, Joan marries the president of Pepsi Cola,
Oh.
who seems like an all right guy, but then he dies of a heart attack, and now Joan is running Pepsi, and as you may have guessed, they think she's an asshole.
I did not remember
She
this
took over
part.
Pepsi?
Yeah, this is the part you've probably heard this clip online or something where she's standing and she's in a conference room and she's like, "Don't fuck with me, fellas." She's talking to the board of Pepsi Cola, and I don't know if that really happened, or if that was just put in the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. After she's done with high school, Christina decides to become an actress herself and eventually lands a role on a soap opera called The Secret Storm.
Oh.
At one point, Christina is hospitalized. She has an ovarian tumor and she needs to get it removed. So they bring in Joan Crawford to play that role on the show, even though she was, like 40 years older than Christina.
What?
They just had her play that role for a while until Christina felt better, and then she came back.
That's asking a lot of soap opera viewers to suspend disbelief.
And their relationship was never great, but by the time Christina was an adult, they kind of managed to coexist. And in 1977, Joan Crawford died of a heart attack. At the reading of the will, Christina and Christopher found out they'd been disinherited.
Oh my God.
Which is apparently when Christina decided to write the autobiography on which the film was based. And
Fair.
She felt like,
It's time.
you're not going to give me any money for, all the shit we went through. I'm going to,
Expose you.
I'm going to expose you and make some money that way.
She disinherited her kids.
Yeah. And she didn't have anyone else to give the money to. There was, she just did, it's not like, her kids ignored her for the last few decades of her life and someone else came in to help her, she just didn't want to give them any money. So, not long after production of the movie began, Christina was asked not to participate in the making of the film because she kept pointing out that they were making Joan Crawford seem too sympathetic.
Whoa!
She was like, no, she was worse. It was worse than this.
And she was pretty bad in this movie.
Yep. Christina's husband was still an executive producer on the movie, and there was lots of arguing on the set, apparently, about whether they were making Joan out to be too much of a monster or not enough of one. Wow. And the movie, like we said, the movie makes her look pretty bad, so it makes you wonder, it was what actually happened must have been pretty fucked up.
Did Christina write... So she wrote a book first,
yes,
and that's based on this. So this all happened pretty fast. If Mom died in 1977, she wrote a book... Mm-hmm. And then somehow that came out, and then the movie came out 4 years later.
Yeah, that's fast. You're right. Mm-hmm. Good point.
During the production of the film, though, Faye Dunaway didn't have a lot of fans on set because she stayed in character and treated people the way she thought Joan Crawford would for whatever reason.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
She even went so far, they said, as she would make people turn their backs when she was performing and yelling at people about staying out of her eye line, that kind of stuff. And it makes you, there's a disconnect. This woman you're portraying as a monster. She's a bad person. Yeah. So then to make a choice to stay in that character and people,
that's weird.
Right, yeah.
It also feels like maybe that's actually who she is, and she just said I'm staying in character as an excuse.
Perfect. Now I can do it.
Yeah, now I can be myself.
So critics did not love the movie. Our old pal Roger Ebert.
Oh,
we like to refer to Roger Ebert in his movie reviews.
Yeah.
He wrote, "I can't imagine who would want to subject themselves to this movie." And he called it unremittingly depressing, not to any purpose of drama or entertainment, but just to depress. It left me feeling creepy.
Well, Roger, you were wrong, first off, because lots of people wanted to see it later.
Yeah. About Dunaway's...
That's a weird take.
Left
it left you feeling creepy?
Yeah,
are you abusive in your private life?
Like, you feeling something, some guilt or what's happening?
About Dunaway's performance, Variety, the magazine, said, Dunaway does not choose scenery. Dunaway starts neatly at each corner of the set in every scene and swallows it whole, co-stars and all.
Okay. There's room for metaphor, and then that's a little too far.
About a month after the film was released, Paramount Pictures retooled the marketing campaign to take advantage of the fact that audiences were finding it unintentionally funny because of the campiness of it and the overacting and just the way it was kind of coming across to people. They used the line, "Meet the biggest mother of them all," on billboards and print ads. And as campy as the movie is, it's still, it's about child abuse.
Yeah.
And it's a real
and
story.
it's this
And
lady's
it's real.
life.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So
Christina,
so the producers sued Paramount to get them to pull the new marketing campaign, which they did. And Hollywood producers are not generally known for their use of restraint.
Yeah.
So this kind of makes this all a little bit even more surprising than it was by itself.
Wow. It is interesting because it is known as so campy and the no wire hangers and all of that. Like that, I wonder if they realized as they were making it that it felt that way, like, or if it just came out in the final cut where they realized, like, oh, this is I'm curious.
And I don't, this isn't all Faye Dunaway's fault, but she just the performance she turned in was really like it was over the top.
Histrionic, perhaps.
Yes. Yeah. And so I think that probably contributes a lot to it. But at the end of the day, there's a director, there's writers, there's editors, there's all sorts of people working on
it's
this.
very disingenuous in 1981 to assume Faye Dunaway had complete control over her performance, too.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like Faye Dunaway was in much after.
Because she did Bonnie and Clyde before this, and
all of her big stuff was before. It feels
and
like.
I think, she was in that movie The Temp we talked about. We did 1993 the first time through, and she was pretty, over the top with that.
She showed up in Alias in the early 2000s and played a very over the top villain, which was pretty great. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was in Supergirl.
That's right.
She was the bad guy in that. And
That's right.
She'd shoot some scenery in that too.
She sure did. Yeah, she carved out a niche for herself. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, like when in the early 2000s when American Idol was a thing, right? And so then every network was trying to do versions of that. That's kind of where America's Next Top Model came from and all this stuff. There was one called The Starlet that was finding like the next, kind of ingenue actress, and she was the Simon Cowell on that. And there was a panel of judges, and people would come in, young women would come in, and they would, act out a scene, and then she would give them feedback, and it was, it was pretty over the top. Like it's, I get when you're on those shows like that and you're a judge, you're being yourself, but you're still playing a role, right?
Right. Yeah.
But it was.
But also, those are real people, and you're just tearing into them. Like,
Mommie Dearest.
Mommie Dearest.
That is a good one.
Where are you going to go from there, Mary?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, we're going to go to Janet Leslie Cook, who you may not have heard of, and for good reason.
Okay.
This is an American former journalist. She received a Pulitzer Prize in 1981.
Oh, good for her.
For an article written for the Washington Post.
Oh, right.
And the story was later discovered to have been fabricated.
Oh.
And Cook...
You went on a ride there.
Yeah, I was
you got
real
excited.
Quick. I'm sorry. I want to bring you back right away.
Yeah.
Janet.
She returned the Pulitzer and is the only person to do so to date, after admitting that she had indeed fabricated that story and others. So this all centers around a September 28, 1980 article in the Post titled Jimmy's World. Cook profiled the supposed life of an 8-year-old heroin addict named
my God.
Jimmy, which she said was a pseudonym. She wrote of the, and this is a quote, needle marks freckling the baby smooth skin of his thin brown arms, and claimed to have witnessed episodes of heroin injection, describing them in graphic detail.
Is this where James Fry got the idea?
Jesus.
Clearly.
This is some... That's some gall.
This is some unmitigated gall. The article gave people a lot of empathy. A lot of readers really connected with it, including Marion Barry, who was the then mayor of Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah, and he had some troubles later.
He sure did.
He sure did. He and other city officials organized an all-out police search for the boy.
Jesus.
Which was unsuccessful because, spoiler alert, he didn't exist.
Okay.
And led to speculation that the story was fraudulent. Barry, under considerable public pressure to announce a resolution, just decided to say that Jimmy had entered into treatment or had died. We're not sure which one. Just gave two options.
We think he died.
Choose your own ending.
Yeah.
We don't care. He's either in treatment or he died. Happy ending either way, I guess.
That's a good job, man.
Yeah. He then admitted later that the city still had no information on Jimmy's whereabouts and suggested that the story was partially fictionalized, saying it was unlikely that Jimmy's mother or dealer would allow a reporter to see them shoot up, as Cook claims she saw. So he went ahead and doubled down, but he doubled down on the part of no one would let you see that, not an 8-year-old. Are we questioning an 8-year-old heroin addict? Right. Okay. So in the meantime, some within the Post staff also doubted the story. But the paper defended it at the time, and the assistant managing editor, Bob Woodward, submitted the story for the Pulitzer Prize for feature writing, and Cook was awarded that on April 13th, 1981. An Associated Press article about the Pulitzer Prize winners featured biographical profiles, including Cook's fabricated educational background, because it turns out she doesn't just lie in stories.
Oh, damn.
God, Janet.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
When the article was seen by the editors at the Toledo Blade, which who knew they were on the cutting edge of news?
Oh, wow.
Coming in hot, Toledo Blade. They noticed the discrepancies and alerted the AP, which in turn contacted the Post.
Did she say that she had worked there or something? And they were like...
She had added additional autobiographical elements since being hired at the Post. Her initial resume claimed she was fluent in French and Spanish. She later added Portuguese and Italian. An executive editor later tested her language abilities and found that she spoke no Portuguese or Italian and only rudimentary French. She also claimed that she attended the University of Paris and won 7 awards for her journalism in Ohio, as opposed to only the one she had previously listed.
Did she make that one? Huh?
I think there was one initially that she won, but I think it probably came under scrutiny after this, On April 14th, Cook was confronted about those discrepancies by Post editors and admitted to fabricating her background.
Wow.
Editors then reviewed her notes and recorded interviews for the story and found no evidence that she had ever interviewed a child who was using heroin. While Cook initially stood by her reporting, she began over the following few hours to sort of like say, oh, well, it was just that part. I was protecting him. Like she tried to do a bunch of backpedaling. And then finally, after a few hours, just said, yeah, he's fabricated. I made him all up. Yeah. So on the morning of April 15th, Cook issued a statement in which she publicly confessed this and announced her resignation to the Post. The Pulitzer Prize for feature writing was instead given to Teresa Carpenter for her article in the Village Voice about the murder of Dorothy Stratton.
I wonder how Teresa felt about being the backup.
Yeah.
The runner-up.
Well, if I know Teresa, she was dancing on it. Yeah. She was just like, you know what? Yeah.
Got it.
Knew it should have been my article the whole time. She busted in the Village Voice the next day and was like, told you, bitches!
Yeah, that's how she did
that prize was mine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And rightly so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all this happened on tax day.
I know.
Oh, my God, you're right.
So many things happening.
Income tax is done.
Yeah. It's some unmitigated gall to be like a legit journalist for the Post and just be like, oh, I'm going to insert this character that doesn't exist.
Also, it's interesting that she gave it up so quickly. Yes. It feels like she didn't expect to ever be challenged or anything.
Right. And it feels like after she wrote the story and sort of got away with it, she sort of doubled down and was like, oh, guess what? I also know Portuguese and Italian. Like she just started throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah.
It feels like every sort of pathological liar we see on documentaries and stuff where they just keep going and going and going.
I mean, I don't know what your long-term plan was, though. At some point, there was going to be questions about some part of that, either your resume or the story.
But that's the high, right? It's telling the lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's, they don't really think about what comes later. It's just I want to.
That's a good point. Yeah, I imagine wherever she was when she found out the mayor was getting involved, she was like, fuck.
You're gonna hunt down the kid.
Oh, he died. I saw him overdose and I took him to the hospital, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. I mean, because that's a bold lie, an 8-year-old.
It's a big one.
I mean, I'm not saying that maybe that hasn't happened or, whatever, but
Yeah, but if you're going to lie, I would at least involve adults or something. I don't know, that feels...
It feels really... Rough. Yeah, because of course that's going to incite a lot of people into wanting to do something if you're hearing that. But yeah, she said no.
But I also think too, an 8-year-old would probably... This is going to sound weird. An 8-year-old wouldn't appreciate heroin. I feel like an 8-year-old would just be like, I feel weird. Like,
Yes.
this doesn't feel
Yeah,
normal.
it's
Like,
not serving
yeah.
the purpose it does for
right,
other people. Yeah.
And they don't, 8-year-olds don't want to get, shots. They don't want to get.
True.
That is true.
Yeah.
These are all good points. Things that maybe the Pulitzer Prize Committee should have thought about.
Yeah.
Also, a weird thing to lie about Portuguese. How's that
Yeah,
helping
that's
you
a-
get? What doors are you opening with that?
Especially in Washington, D.C. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Speak
Okay.
Portuguese. Okay.
Okay.
Great. You're the new editor. Like what?
Well, another sort of left turn. I'm from 8-year-old heroines to Dynasty.
Oh.
Dynasty premiered in early 1981, and then it ran till 1989. And it was
That's a
produced
dynasty, if I do say so
yep,
myself.
produced by Aaron Spelling, and the idea was developed to compete with Dallas because Dallas was
The
hardcore
shit.
winning at the time.
There were lots of shows that were on in the early 80s that were just Dallas, but somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Columbus.
Toledo.
Toledo.
And at first, the first season ratings weren't super great, but by season 2, they brought on a new character, more on that later, and ratings soared for Dynasty. So,
Get it.
yeah, start off with the Carringtons are an oil family, but they live in Denver for some reason. That I had forgot about. I was like, wait, why do you live in Denver? But it doesn't matter. Blake Carrington is about to marry his former secretary.
It's funny that they made it an oil family because that's
Right.
what Dallas
That's what
was based
Dallas
on.
is.
You
So
think
it's
they would
like-
have come up with something else like
Yeah.
rocks or plutonium maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, something different. Yeah.
Yes. But they didn't. And so Blake Carrington, played by John Forsythe, is about to marry his former secretary, Crystal, which is gross.
Okay.
And Crystal's played by Linda Evans.
And she's
And-
got some bangs on her,
She
man.
sure does,
Them
and some
bangs.
shoulder pads.
She couldn't fit through a doorway if she tried.
No, and Crystal is unfamiliar with money. So she's coming into this rich-ass family, and no one in the house likes her. This is like a 48-room mansion, and every single person fucking hates her.
Jesus, Crystal, what'd you do?
All the staff hates her. Blake's daughter Fallon hates her. And Blake is too preoccupied with his company to care because oil in Denver.
That's what I was just going to say is that
They're
it's funny
looking
that
for
they
it.
did make it an oil family because it feels like in 1981 that was like the direct line to money.
Yeah,
now it would
yeah.
be technology or a tech
Yes.
firm or something, but then it was like oil, money.
Yeah.
Oil.
They're an
Yeah.
oil family.
Blake's son Steven likes Crystal, mostly because he doesn't like his dad.
Okay.
And because he's secretly gay
Oh, yeah.
and knows his dad is disgusted by it.
Oh shit.
He also doesn't want to take over the business, but Fallon does, but she's a lady.
No, sorry.
Can't do
Fallon.
it. Can't do that.
You want to be a secretary, though? We can do that. You'll
Sure
find yourself
can.
a husband.
And
Yeah.
marry a guy that's probably 20 years older than you. Meanwhile, there's also the Blaisdells, and they are a geologist family.
Okay, hold on.
Thing over here. Yeah.
So non-specific.
And Matthew Blaisdell is Crystal's ex-lover.
Oh.
And as
Oh,
Blake
no.
starts to ignore her, she gets closer to Matthew. Then Stephen goes to work for them as sort of a fuck you to dad. So lots and lots of
shit.
drama, including at one point Blake accidentally killing Stephen's ex-boyfriend and going on trial for murder. And that's how the end of season 1 is. Okay. So season 1, like I said, fine, mediocre ratings. Then season 2, Joan Collins shows up.
There it is. Yeah.
Joan Collins arrives as Blake's ex-wife. And the show then shifted to focus on Alexis, Joan Collins, and her fights with Crystal.
And they were
the
great.
Ratings, and the fights were great, and the ratings soared.
Ooh.
So the other characters and the whole business storylines, they kind of moved to the background, and it was all Alexis and Crystal, and it became very super soapy. So here's some plot lines for the next 8 seasons, okay?
Excellent. Excellent.
A long lost...
I know what my favorite one is, but I will.
Okay.
I will. I'm sure you will list it.
All right. A long lost son of Alexis and Blake shows up and almost has sex with his sister unknowingly.
Cool.
Yeah.
A long lost son.
Yeah, there's a lot of long lost kids that show up over the 8 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. Stephen is supposedly killed in Indonesia, but actually survives, undergoes plastic surgery, and returns to Denver, played by another actor. Alexis Alexis causes Crystal to miscarry by shooting a gun near a horse that Crystal was riding. And the horse like takes off and, the jostling, I guess. Yeah.
The jostling. Wow.
Crystal's niece, Sammy Jo, shows up at
yeah.
one point,
Heather
and that's
Locklear.
Heather Locklear.
Ooh.
And Heather Locklear marries Steven for his money. So apparently he is not gay for a while. He like goes, maybe he's bi.
Well, he's got that new face.
Yeah, got the new face.
He tried something different.
Yeah. Blake's illegitimate and black half-sister, Dominique Devereaux, played by Diane Carroll, shows up with her husband, Billy D. Williams, in tow.
Oh.
Alexis tries to ruin Blake's empire with false claims of weapons dealing. And then there was the Moldavian massacre. Amanda and Prince Michael, and I forget who these people are, their royal wedding is interrupted by terrorists during a military coup in Moldavia, and the chapel is riddled with bullets, and all of the major characters seem to be dead, and that's the end of the season, end of the 5th season.
Jeez, they went all out.
It was watched by an audience of 26 million people.
Wow.
In 2011, Entertainment Weekly named it one of the biggest cliffhangers of all time. Unfortunately, though, the season 6 premiere, it showed like everyone lived except for a couple minor characters. So people were like, "What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay." At the end of the 9th season, almost all the main characters were almost going to die, and the show was canceled. So there was a big cliffhanger. No one knew what happened. So they did a 2-part miniseries 2 years later in 1991 to wrap up storylines, and apparently it sucked.
Well,
What was your favorite storyline? Because that was the...
Oh, it was. You actually didn't listen. At one point, Crystal's like evil twin or a woman who was just like her came in, and like Crystal herself was like kidnapped somewhere, and so she was running around the house and she was being Crystal and she was trying to take over the whole thing. And like there's
my
this
God.
scene where like she goes into a room and there's a kid in there playing, and she's like hits the kid or something like that, and someone walks in like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, sorry." And like everyone's like, "Okay." This woman just looks like Crystal, but she acts totally different, and nobody really seems to.
That had to be
pick
fun
up
for
on
Linda
that.
Evans, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But like as you said too, a big draw became the catfights. There was Alexis and Crystal in a pool. There was Alexis and Crystal everywhere. Like they fought hard.
Yeah, there was one where they were out on like not in the woods, but they were like on a hill, and they end up like rolling down the hill and stuff. There's one they were in. I think Alexis was at one point a fashion designer, maybe, and so they were in like a fashion studio with all these like fabrics and sequins and baubles and whatever, and they start fighting there. And I love it when it's them at the beginning and then the camera's further out, and it's clearly two different people.
Yeah.
In
That's
wigs,
amazing. Yeah.
and they just roll around on the ground and all this stuff, and it's very
Yeah, and it wasn't just them. Like I think they put a lot of the female characters together and let them fight. Like that was their big draw. It's like, look at the ladies fight. So costume designer Nolan Miller designed approximately 3,000 costumes over the course of the series. And he said, I never want to see them wearing the same outfit twice. So his weekly wardrobe budget was $35,000.
Wow.
wow. And that's 80s.
Also, his creations became so popular that that Dynasty spawned its own line of women's apparel called the Dynasty Collection. And it was a series of haute couture designs based on costumes worn by Joan Collins, Linda Evans, and Diane Carroll. And a men's fashion line followed.
I want to look like John Forsyth, please.
Yeah, they produced licensed products that included sheets and towels, jewelry and furs, Forever Crystal perfume, and Carrington men's cologne.
Wow.
Also, at one point, Linda Evans was hired as a spokesperson for Crystal Light because of her character's name. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, henceforth, I shall be Erin from a family of geology.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. I like it. Is your
Because-
budget going to be $35,000 per week?
Well, no, because we don't come from oil, we come from geology.
Yeah.
so
True. Right.
While lucrative, not as lucrative
Not as
oil.
lucrative, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
But, yeah.
Dynasty. I imagine it gave a little bit of a blueprint for Real Housewives, and for
I was
a
just gonna
number
say,
of
your husband's
very,
in the pool.
yeah, very dramatic moments.
Oh,
People
yes.
dress well, behaving poorly.
So what do you got, Heath?
I've got Bette Davis eyes.
Yeah, you do.
Ooh.
Bette Davis Eyes is a song by the one and only Kim Carnes. And it came out in March of 1981. The song was composed in 1974 by Donna Weiss and Jackie DeShannon, who also sang What the World Needs Now Is Love and Put a Little Love in Your Heart. You've maybe heard those songs in that name. You've probably heard them in a grocery store. If you have heard them. DeShannon released a version of the song shortly after writing it, but no one really noticed. So
Okay.
the Kim Carnes version of the song fared much better. It reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 9 weeks in 1981. It also won Grammys for Record of the Year and Song of the Year, which are 2 biggies for that. She only recorded 3 takes of the song, and the first take is the one that was released.
Wow.
So it was kind of lightning in a bottle type sitch.
Erin is out. Buried her face in her hands. Lightning in a bottle. It feels like a game each episode to be like, what is Erin going to react to from Heath that just sends her over the edge?
But then just casually adding type of sitch. Oh, man. Ooh, that was a good one. Okay.
The song itself is about how captivating and alluring Bette Davis' eyes are and the power she was able to convey just by looking at someone. You know. Bette Davis was 73 when the song became a hit, and she wrote a letter to Kim Carnes and the songwriters thanking them for making her part of modern times. Kim Carnes even
still alive.
sent Bette Davis gold and platinum records of the song after winning the Grammy Awards. So
That's nice.
it was nice. Gwyneth Paltrow and Taylor Swift, they both covered the song.
What? I'm sorry.
Wait,
I'm sorry,
Gwyneth
what?
Paltrow?
She did it in that movie duets she did. Huey Lewis was in it. Like she's saying there, like nobody wanted to hear fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's take on this.
No, I did not. I blocked that.
Yeah.
Wait, who was the other one?
Taylor Swift.
Oh,
She
okay.
did it. I think on her 1989 tour, she would
Okay.
do covers of
That's
older
fine.
pop songs.
Yeah.
But just last week, JoJo Siwa did a cover of it.
Really?
That she put out on social media. JoJo Siwa, who, was her identity for several years was that she was gay and is now dating a man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it wasn't like she was like, I'm sexually fluid or I'm on a spectrum. She was, I'm a lesbian.
Full on gay. Okay.
Yeah.
But now she was, I think, Celebrity Big Brother in the United Kingdom she was on, and she met some guy there.
Interesting.
So, also, I would like to keep talking about Joan Crawford because I talked about her before. I think it's important to note that Bette Davis and Joan Crawford fucking hated each other.
Yes.
One of the best things Ryan Murphy ever made was that feud show with those
Yeah.
two. Woo!
A lot of that was based on professional jealousy because they were often up for the same roles, but it was also, they competed for men as well, apparently.
Oh, shit.
Yep. It didn't help that back then, a lot like now, the media kind of pushed this narrative about women being in competition with each other and women hating each other and that kind of stuff. So that sort of added
And
to
as
it.
we saw in Dynasty, that continued. Yes.
So now, courtesy of the internet, is a non-conclusive list of reasons why they did not like each other.
Oh, good. I was just going to ask why they didn't.
Betty Davis thought that the studios favored Joan Crawford.
Okay.
In 1936, Betty Davis won an Academy Award for the film Dangerous, and instead of congratulating her, Joan Crawford made fun of her gown.
Oh, petty.
Joan Crawford had a tendency to annoy Betty Davis with publicity stunts, such as the time that Crawford announced her divorce from Douglas Fairbanks Jr. on the same day that Davis's movie Ex-Lady was released. However, at one point, Joan Crawford tried to make amends by sending Betty Davis gifts and flowers, but Davis returned them. She didn't want them.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Joan Crawford, as I said earlier, died in 1977, so she was not around in 1981 to enjoy the success of Bette Davis Eyes, but I bet, I assume her daughter Christina really enjoyed it.
I bet she did.
That's one of her fave songs to this day.
Yeah. That's a good
Hot
point.
take. I always thought Bette Davis kind of had crazy eyes.
That's
That's
why
why
I think of her just in
'cause
black and white, so I can't even really think of her
like-
eyes. Don't know what to tell you.
I don't either.
Some people liked them, apparently.
Some people found him alluring.
Yes.
Alluring, if you will.
Well, and also in 1981, you couldn't really look up Bette Davis's eyes on the internet, so maybe people were just like, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Kim Carnes.
That's very true. Yeah. I don't remember
speaks
it
the
real
truth.
well, but yeah. And that could be just be my own bias and interpretation. I'm not saying that they weren't beautiful.
Yeah. I mean,
I
we've
didn't
had
meet her in person. They could have been very alluring.
could have been very
Yeah.
alluring. Maybe it was Joan Crawford saw those eyes, saw how alluring they were, and was like,
be.
"Uh-oh, I can't,
Not a
I can't."
chance.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we ended up talking a lot about fighting ladies.
Fighting ladies.
You were born in the midst of fighting ladies. Yeah.
It's true. Little did I know.
You were born in a dynasty world.
Yes. Yes, that is true. I also come from geology, so
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense.
Fuzzy Memories is a Broads and Books production. It's hosted by Heath Smith, Aaron Johnston, and Amy Lee Lillard. Be sure to follow us at Fuzzy Memories Pod on Instagram for clips and highlights. See you next time.
There was lots of times people would show up in Alexis's penthouse where she lived. You know, they'd get off the elevator and they'd argue with her. And like once, I don't remember if it was Diane Carroll or if it was
Yeah, because she
Crystal.
and Alexis had a big fight for a
Yeah.
while, right? Yeah.
But at some point, like they just like took Alexis was like eating lunch, and they just took her plate of food and like flipped it onto her shirt, and so she just had food all over, and she just sat there. She's like, like that was her whole reaction. Not like she didn't get up and be like, "You fucking asshole!
Leave my penthouse."
Yeah, you knocked my hot dog onto my shirt, bitch."
My hot